you can say, or a gift of the human being. You see, when you say human being, so we have to take into account the human body with the mind and the intellect. I can see the mosquito sitting here, but the mosquito body cannot become aware that I become aware because I have a human body. So when we say human body, so we have to say human body with the mind, with the self-awareness, with an intellect. Elephant body, think, elephant body. Elephant cannot become aware that we are cheating him. There is a big dig and he falls into it and we catch. So you see that we have to think of it. The moment you see any living being means body plus mind. So mind is regulated, controlled by the nature. We are controlled by the nature, our mind, and we can also become free. No doubt. There is a control, but still the mind can become free. But why the mind should become free? The mind experiences limitedness. Mind experiences insecurity. I can get out of the security with this human body. Mosquito, elephant, tiger, or take the strongest animal, they cannot. We are talking of that freedom, we are talking of that liberation, we are talking of that awakening. See that? And it is not difficult for even a normal human being to see this ability. And this ability is gifted by the existence to us. We did not think of being born as a human being. I don't have any choice. So if you say that existence gifted this human body, it created this me, and I have a self-awareness, I can use my intellect for freedom. I'm not using it. I'm not using it. You see that I'm not using. Come on. No, we can take it for granted. Ant, mosquito, reptiles, bird, elephant, tiger, they have a limited mind because of their body. We have to see from both the angles. So it means existence gifted the tiger body, mosquito body, ant body, elephant body, and the human body. So our master says that out of 8.4 million species, you are the luckiest. And we make our luck a bad luck. So we suffer. You see that? Only a seeker should know this. I should have talked about this much earlier, but it will not work. Okay, you have anxiety, you have stress, you have relationship challenges. Okay, get rid of it. But now the time has come, we should understand this. You know, we get a lottery of $1 billion, okay, in my account. We are excited. We are not excited to be a human being. When I am a human being, I know the importance of $1 billion. Tell your dog or your pet, no worries, I'm your master and I have $1 billion for you. That's a beauty. That's a beauty. You can call it self awareness, you can call it free intellect, you can call it that we are highly developed. We are definitely developed. There is no chance. So the master says one more thing. This self knowledge cannot be destroyed. Everything can be destroyed, but self knowledge cannot be destroyed. That real self, that I am of the nature of peace and happiness, love and wisdom, cannot be destroyed by anything at any point of time, in any location, in any relationship. So the master further says that there is no gain, there is no achievement greater than the self knowledge. And here the guru means the ignorance to knowledge. That is why the guru is a representative of your real self through the teaching of the text. There is no difference. Because that very self knowledge is same in every living being. Tiger cannot recognize this, we can recognize it. That's why we have a human body. Think. We are gifted a human being. And because I am gifted a human body with a mind, which you say self awareness, a free intellect, I have a choice to be happy and I have a choice to be unhappy. Tiger attacks, and you say, hold on, Tiger, hold on, stop it. I will tell you, I'm not harming you. Tiger is not going to listen to you. Look at this self awareness. We have it. We have it. So the moment any blame, complaint, reaction, anger, anxiety comes into the mind, hold on, wait, I'm not going there. We can stop it, but we are not able to, we don't do it. That ability, that awareness is only present in the human being, or when I say human being, with the human frame and the mind and the intellect. They all represent a level of consciousness in me. Because if I don't have this human body, the mind cannot work with the mind, cannot recognize the self awareness. Consciousness is the same. So when that consciousness is given the human frame, it has the self awareness. Otherwise, mosquito is also has a consciousness. The mosquito means mosquito body, ant body, elephant body, tiger body. Unless they have this human frame, that consciousness will not manifest as a free intellect in the mind. Means what? Human body is always there with me when I wake up, when I dream, when I sleep. Next day again I wake up. I wake up in the same way with the same problem, with the same challenges, and we can get rid of it. We don't want to get rid of it. Because we don't want to get rid of it. Why? Because we have superimposed peace and happiness in the world outside. That is what is attachment, that is what is delusion, that is what is Maya, and that is what is ignorance. We don't want to get rid of it, and that is why we suffer. The oldest book of yoga, Yoga Vasisht. So there are two oldest books. You can say Ramayana. One is Ramayana, written by Valmiki, a great master, and then Adhyatmik Ramayana, or which is known as the Yoga Vasisht. Vasisht means Vasisht was a teacher of Rama. Even the Vishwamitra was teacher of Rama. Oldest book, if you go to the oldest book. So his father told him to visit the kingdom and visit other kingdoms also. So at least for 2 3 years, he visited the other kingdom and the people and the society, and he saw some people die, they become old, they are sick. He returned, and then he kept quiet in his kingdom. He did not speak anything, and he was totally detached from the world. When the people are dying, what should I do? You cannot control them. So many people felt that he is having a depression, but the Vishwamitra and the Vasishtha realized that it is not a depression. He is totally detached. It is a state of dispassion. And then Vasishtha called him that why you are living in one room, totally dark. You don't even come out and participate in the kingdom. let us have Let us know your state. No, this is a state of dispassion. And then he asked couple of questions, and he said, this is your dispassion, this is how you have to work, this is how you should get the right knowledge. So you see that story was narrated in Yoga Vasisht, which contains almost 32,000 verses, through many examples. So now see the story of the Buddha. So Rama realized, got awakened, then he got married, he had the kids, and he fought the war. Now see the situation of the Buddha. Buddha was totally absorbed in all kinds of pleasure, then he got married, he had a son, and then he left the kingdom. So no one is great. We can say, oh, Buddha, see that Buddha left the princely state. That is why uh, he had a greater sacrifice. No, because he could not separate himself from the kingdom. That is why he has to leave the kingdom to live in a forest under a teacher to learn what is detachment, what is dispassion. Rama learned while living in the kingdom. But still, we cannot say that who is greater. It was a level of evolution, it was a level of awareness. Everyone goes through. Rama went through that level of awareness by himself. And the Buddha needs to be taught because of the past impression. So, why I gave these two examples, they both have the human body, they both have the mind, they both have the intellect, but their level of evolution was different. And that is why they were given a different situation, condition to evolve. So because Rama got awakened and then he played his role entirely. He played his role killing Ravana, getting and he started ruling the kingdom. It was just a play and fun for him, a role that he played. And the Buddha left the kingdom and then he realized it is better to create another kingdom of monasteries. He created the same monastery. Whether you say it's a kingdom, attachment is not present in the bricks and the walls, whether you have a kingdom or whether you have a monastery. The house is the same. House is the same. The earth is one earth. You have two buildings at a different place. One is known as monastery and other is known as kingdom. So people don't realize this. People say he has left it. This is all for a non-seeker. We can talk about it. So similarly, with these two examples, we both were given the human body plus the different situations, relations, people, conditions to evolve. Every condition, every person, every situation, where we are, where we are born, I have to recognize it is helping me to evolve. I have to understand how it is helping me. Whether my honey is fighting with me, or my honey loves me, or I have the kids, they want me to live too far, or they want me to live too near. Every situation, every condition, every person, every relationship, the amount and the quantity of the money that we have, the luxury and the comfort or the difficult situation is nothing but existence wants me to recognize it, to evolve and reach to the highest. So let the mind now recognize it. Recognized, yes, I have recognized it. I have retained that knowledge. So where is the problem? Where is anxiety? Where is duality? Where is reaction? Where is the problem? So I have to maintain that. Why I have to maintain that? Because the mind will return with a greater force because of the past impression. That is what we see. We have to remove the impurities of the mind. I have to live into I can live into that awareness. Am I living into that awareness? Yes. So let me continue to live into that awareness. The moment I finish, the session is gone, my mind returns with the same habit, with the same animal attitude. Is it possible to maintain? Yes, it is 100% possible to maintain. But I am not able to maintain because I fall into ignorance. In stress, it is the same human body, it is the same mind. In peace, it is the same human body, it is the same mind. You see, we are going little deeper. It is the same mind. So only the self-awareness can recognize that is it the same mind or not. Why it is not the same mind? I identify myself. Identification is attachment, and the problem comes, the real self hides behind, and the I with the ego, with all its impressions, returns, and I claim that I am this. Finished. Look at it. When we maintain that awareness, the human body, mind, aunt body, and the mind, limited. I have unlimited. I impose the limitation on my mind because of my likes and dislikes, because of my attachment and detachment, because of my blame and complaint, because of the comparison. I compare the situation of others with me. Mind has the ability because it lives in higher awareness. So it has the ability to compare and blame and complain and react. I have to drop all this. I have to see. I am a human body with a higher level of awareness, with that free intellect, and to make a right choice. Another issue that I discussed, I think, a couple of times in a different way. So, when we say the wrong thinking and the right thinking, wrong thinking simply means my mind has a conflict, has a confusion. The blame, complaint, anxiety, reaction, thoughts are going on into my mind all the time. It's a confused state of the mind. And I'm aware of that confusion. So when I'm aware of that confusion, so I can remove that confusion. No animals can. So the master discovered that there is a wrong thinking and there is a right thinking. What is right thinking? I'm attending a session for 1 hour. So there is a start point, there is a finish point. So there is no conflict and confusion here. Now I'm hungry, let me eat. So there is a starting point of eating and finishing point. So now see that. The moment you start that, convert that thought into an activity, the confusion is gone. Now there is no more thought. You are eating the food, but there is no thought. You are attending the session, but there is no thought that no, no, I'm going to attend the session, I'm going to attend the session. So it means when the mind is constantly repeating the same thought again and again, it is nothing but a confusion. I have to recognize that confusion and remove it. No, no, but I cannot remove. No, where there is a problem, there is a solution. For tiger, there is a problem, there is a limitation. For ant, there is a problem, there is a limitation. They cannot free themselves from the limitation. No chance. No chance. Because they should be given the same environment, same situation to continue to exist. The tiger has to live in the forest. We can live anywhere. Our level of adaptation is so high. We can live in Alaska, we can live in cold and desert, we can live in Antarctica. Our level of adaptation through the mind goes into the body. That's why we live with the clothes. Animals do not. We live in AC, they do not. We have invented them. I am focusing my talk on this. Do I recognize being a human? Being a human means that human body with a level of awareness and a free intellect. It is a replica. It is the human being is You can say, what is the micro aspect of the existence? It is a copy. It is exactly identical because it can free itself from the limitations and it can enter into the absolute all pervading consciousness that is existence. It is always available to us. We have to allow that consciousness to manifest through the mind and intellect and through the sense organs, through the motor organs, freely. So that freedom of expression is awakening. No, it does not mean that no, I want to kill you, so let me kill you. So then there is a restrictions. Because the very killing means that I see you are different from me. The consciousness does not see that you are different from me. We are essentially one. So that's why we have a lot of teachings about non-violence, about truth, about non-stealing, about kindness, about compassion, about a lot of stuff. Compare this. I am a human being. I am aware of the room where I am sitting. You are aware of the room where you are sitting. Does the tiger also knows this? Can they separate? No. They know they are limited. They will try to run away, but self-awareness is not there. Ant, mosquito, plant. So we have to compare in this way to understand our level of self-awareness. Look at this, we are having a virtual session and we are talking as if we are talking very close, sitting very close to each other. It is not possible for the other living species. You bring the cat in front of a mirror and the cat starts fighting as if there is another cat. Tiger. We are gifted. We have a blessing. We are not using that blessing. We are not, you see, we are not. I know fighting with you will not bring anything. So, but no, then what should I do? You are fighting. Let me calm down. This is the my self-awareness can teach me. Two tigers are fighting and one tiger says, okay, let me calm down. You see in any situation, when the two tigers are fighting, they are fighting, tooth and nail, and one tiger has to die. I withdraw myself because of my self-awareness. I calm down. So that power of the calmness may affect you, may not affect you. I save myself. You see in any situation, you see in any activities of the human being. Look at the COVID. COVID virus does not know it is killing so many millions of people. We know it. So we know it, so we have a solution. We have a vaccine, COVID vaccine. So the COVID virus cannot create a human vaccine to kill the human beings. We have that level of awareness. So we are talking of that awareness. We should not take self-awareness casually and easily. No, no. Every step I take with this self-awareness, I should bring the mind at the conscious level to evolve at in every situation, in every relationship, in every activity. That is what we say, we need to take over this mind. Why we need to take over the mind? Why we need to take over the mind? Because the mind is experiencing the limitations, the bondage, the sense of insecurity. And then we give an example that it has evolved from the animal kingdom. We can get rid of it here and now. When there is a right knowledge is nothing but awareness and experience. At this moment, your mind is totally free. Why it should not remain free all the time? It is free now. So our masters have given many words. It may be a forgetfulness, it is ignorance. I live into that awareness. So then a thought comes of blaming someone. Blaming someone, I have divided myself through the mind, created a conflict. So now my mind is engaged more in the conflict, in the separation, in the competition, in the reaction, than living my life to evolve. And once we follow that knowledge, the impurity is already gone. The idea of blaming and complaining and the reaction is already gone. Gone. So we don't need to, oh, it will take a lot of time to purify the mind. No, we will continue the practices. That's a different thing. Because this level of awareness do not remain with the mind 24 by 7. If it remains 24 by 7, this it is done. So let us look at that level of awareness. What prevents the mind not to live into that awareness? Because the mind feels limited. It identifies with my house, then it compares with your house. My mind identifies with my honey. Then it compares and gives a contrast to your honey, and the problem starts. Consciousness or awareness as such is not divided, but the mind by identification, it says, there you are, here I am. So I am different from you. You are different from me. The moment I see that difference, it causes likes and dislikes. Likes and dislikes causes the attachment and detachment. Then attachment and detachment causes the desire. That desire is seeking peace and happiness from outside in the world. So that peace and happiness with the object I need to work. So my mind says go and do karma. So I start doing the karma and the action. But the problem is the peace and happiness are not there outside. I superimposed. So I find, okay, peace and happiness is not in one honey, then second honey. So the continuity of the karma is there, and I start the cycle of the birth and the death. And that cycle of the birth and the death is known as samsara. And the samsara, the Buddha says, is suffering. It is all one consciousness on which everything is happening through the mind, on which everything is happening on the mind. Just take an example. This space is there, infinite space. So, where you have conceived that you are building your house. So, you are going to build a house. So, it is in the conception stage. After conception, conception is in the mind. So, in that conception, you have started building a wall in the space. Three things. One is the infinite space that never changes. Second is your mind chooses a particular location in that space to build a house. Pay attention. Space is one. In that space, your mind says, I will build my house here. But that is also a space. You are not building a house in the entire infinite space. You are building a house on a particular location. So it's a virtual space in which you have created a house. So that house is nothing but the word, and the mind that conceived a virtual space out of that infinite space is the mind. So mind forgets the infinite space. Mind lives into that virtual space with the house, with the situation, with the people, with the living. And then we continue to live our life. We do not see. If the infinite space is not there, virtual space is not there, local space is not there, the house is not there, the house is still not there, it is only one space. But I see that this is me, this is reality, and I forget. So here the master says, I create, I am, and the real self is left behind. Consciousness, pure consciousness is the real self. On that real self, the mind says, here I am, it is the virtual space. We gave an example that of a canvas. Canvas is one, then it is starched, then the mind conceives your picture in that canvas at a particular space. But that particular space is the secondary canvas. It's a virtual canvas, it's a false canvas. Then you create a picture of your honey, you create a picture of your son and daughter on that canvas at a particular location. How you create? Giving it a different color and the shape and the form. But behind it is only one canvas. But behind it is only one canvas. It is not different. So you will become very clear if we ask the question, did you paint your picture, your honey picture, your daughter picture on the real canvas or the virtual canvas? You created on a virtual canvas because your mind conceived in this area, my picture would be there. So that mind and the world are the same. The world is created on the mind, not on the canvas. The world that we live in, with all the problems and the worries and the pleasure, is in the mind, not on the consciousness. Consciousness is ever free. What is that consciousness? Come back to the same thing, human body, mind is free, I'm self aware. What is this awareness? Yeah, that awareness always remains free. Always remains free. I identify myself with the body, so there is a problem. Identification creates an I-ness, and that I-ness hides the pure consciousness, which is already there. It is there. It is not going anywhere. We need not to create it. So that is why the master says the self-knowledge cannot be destroyed. Self-knowledge, self-awareness, pure consciousness. No animals can recognize, separate from their body, from their animal instinct and activity. Only we can. No animal. No animal. That is why we say we are gifted. It's a great blessing of being a human with that awareness, with that mind. My mind can work freely. My mind can separate itself from the body and the mind itself. No animals can. I can see the subjective and the objective reality as a human being, not no other animals. See that. Human frame, all the five sense organs are intact. They are powerful, through which I can express myself, the freedom, but I don't express the freedom. I identify myself, then I've got limitation. Limitation causes the feeling of insecurity, a sense of attachment. Then I continue to work with the attachment, with the blame and complaint and reaction and anger and hesitation. I make my life hell. I make my life heaven. Take few examples. Someone comes and got agitated, reacting to you, becoming angry. So now question is, should I be angry or agitated? So what happens when I become angry and agitated? I hide that pure consciousness. It has no moral and ethical issues. It has nothing to do with morality, religion, or ethics. I have to see whether I live into the same freedom or I lose that freedom by my thought, by my speech, by my action. No animals can think the way we can think, but still we think more like animals than being human. That is the secret behind Buddha's compassion and love and etc. When I love you for the sake of love, that is more in the beginning a selfish act to change my mind. No doubt, it helps. It helps others. It helps me. So, Buddha being so much compassionate and other masters full of compassion and the love, because they don't see the two, they still perceive the same real self is there. So, are they compassionate and kind to themselves? Yes. They don't see too. We see too, and then we start thinking, we try to explain how Buddha perceives us. So we have already divided that Buddha and me are different. But for the Buddha, it is the one consciousness, one same. So my right hand should not hurt my left hand. It's the same way. So it's a natural state. We say it is a compassion. So why I use these examples that we have to go behind the teaching. Compassion is good, kindness is good, every master loves, yes, that is good, but we have to go behind the teaching, what exactly it is. Compassion is again an expression from the consciousness. If there is no self-awareness, I cannot express compassion and love. So I have to explore what is this consciousness. So once I explore that consciousness expresses itself as love, as truth, as peace, as happiness, as wisdom. But it is only one reality, one reality. Coming back in a different way, that human being means human frame, means the mind, means the intellect, I can understand. So that very understanding is nothing but the consciousness. But at the same time, my mind identifies myself with the body. There the problem comes. It is expressing kindness with reference to the body, or it perceives the manifestation of consciousness is kindness. Because that is only possible in the human frame, that is only a reference point. Otherwise, the tiger could express the self awareness. Then they will say, oh, let me be very kind to you. I should not kill you. I am already full. The mosquito will not bite us, will not spread the malaria. COVID virus will not infect us. Let me withdraw myself. So that withdrawal, that recognition, that understanding is only possible with the human body. We are gifted. So I'm a human being, that's a great gift, that's a blessing, that is an opportunity. I don't use that opportunity. This is what the entire Eastern wisdom says. Entire Eastern wisdom says use this opportunity. Nothing else.
So we may act only inside our mind.
Yes, in the beginning, and gradually what happens that this mind becomes a transparent mirror to reflect the consciousness all the time. So the mind becomes a perfect instrument. At present, it is a master. So we have to change the role. You remain as an instrument. Mind, you remain as an instrument. Mind, you do not dictate yourself. So, beauty is that the existence has given us an intellect to check if the mind is dictating me or not. You see another gift. I can think, I can contemplate, I can reflect. No, mind, you're not doing good. It's all the wrong notion. No, get rid of the reaction. Tiger cannot do it. Elephant cannot do it. Mosquito cannot do it. Ant cannot do it with that human body. Well, if you give the human body to the ant, they will also do it. So it means now they are human being. The way the existence is gifted, rivers and the mountains and the earth and the solar system and the sun, the way they have gifted us the mind and the intellect, it is so close to us, we take it for granted. The moment you take it for granted, you are mechanical, you are habitual, you are impulsive, you are gone. You leave it. Every day, sit at least for half an hour or maybe few minutes. I am a human being. How different with reference to the consciousness I am with the mosquito or the ant or the elephant or with the people outside with whom I relate myself. We will realize the consciousness, one consciousness manifest as the intellect, manifest as a mind, manifest as a breath, manifest as the human body. They all are the manifestations of one. So to recognize and to live into that state, because they all are manifestations, the inner conflict is gone. So that inner conflict is caused by the mind, and the mind superimposes on the body, on the situation outside, on the society, and then we start following the religion and long list, and we fall back.